everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another movie review. Probably wondering why I'm wearing a fedora. Well, I recently saw Midnight in Paris, which takes our main character, Gil, into Paris during the 20s, and of course, he's writing a novel about a man who has a nostalgia shop, or what we would call an antique shop. Um, he's about to get married to um, to his fiance, and while he's there, he has an adventure of sorts. It's kind of like Cinderella in a way, but going back in time, and it's very intriguing and profound in many different ways. And it basically talks about how people who like the past can't really handle reality that well, and I think there's actually a lot of truth to that because I love the past myself, but um, I also love the present. So I think I'm pretty balanced. But Gil, he was the type of person who wanted to exist within the past. He actually learns about that later, and he discusses that with another character. I'm not. Her name's Adrienne, but I'm not going to reveal what happens between them because that's going to reveal a huge plot point, and I don't want to do that. Uh, the movie itself is just absolutely magnificent. It's now becoming one of my favorite films. It's poignant. It's bittersweet. It's just beautifully photographed. You can see all the different landmarks of France and what makes France France, um, for lack of better terminology. I just absolutely loved it. I adored it. I thought it was stellar, and I give my friend uh, Time Lord all the kudos because he recommended it to me. Of course, I had heard of the movie, but I really didn't know anything about it. So I was going into the movie having no clue what the plot was, and to be quite clear, I fell in love with it. I just think it is a stupendous film. It's absolutely splendid in every way, shape, and form, and it's extremely deep. It's a very profound film. You're sitting there thinking, this his novel, he's basically discussing his own existence. So he doesn't figure that out later until he makes contact with Gertrude Stein. Um, when he goes on his adventure into the 20s, he meets all these different characters, like one of my favorite people, well, a lot of my favorite people, like Cole Porter and T.S. Eliot. He meets Hemingway and Picasso, Gauguin. He he meets Dali. He meets so many influential people. Um, he even meets the Steinways. both both husband and wife, and it's just very interesting in the way that it was depicted because it's in his understanding, it's not a dream. It actually occurred, and of course his fiance thinks he's totally off his rocker, and we figure out later that there's a revelation. I'm not going to reveal what it is, but there's another character with his wife who travel with them, and he's this character that you just want to choke. I mean, he's just such a jackass. He's a pedant, and he knows everything. And I'm not saying that all pedantic people are this way. We're not. Um, but he was. He was the stereotypical know-it-all, smarty pants, knowledgeable sort that had to one up everybody, and I just loathe people like that. And it just made you see him for what he was, the type of personality that just wanted to put everybody else down, like, oh no, 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 that's not what happened, this is what happened, and I know why. And it's just a, you jerk. But anyway, you figure out what happens to all the characters at the end, and it kind of leaves that open in the air. I'm not going to say exactly what that I'm speaking of, open in the air, but I thought it did. I don't know if anybody else has seen the film would agree with me. But as far as movies are concerned, I love this movie. I think it's completely magnificent in every way, shape, and form. I am a big fan of Woody Allen films. I think that he is a genius. He discusses things in such a frank manner, and he reveals a lot of elements in life that normal people probably wouldn't, they would overlook, and he will he will just put them out on the table in a cinematic form. And of course, I forget who said this, but cinema in and of itself is non-partial, it's non-judgmental. It just takes what it sees and presents it as is. And there's so much truth to that, and that's the reason why I love movies. Um, I highly recommend the film, especially if you're a Francophile like myself. I just love it. I need to go to France, but I gave it actually 5 stars, and I just thought it was parfait all the way through. That means perfect. Um, I absolutely adored it. It was, there was no qualms. There was nothing that I could nag about. It's everything. It came across as, slice of life, and this sort of thing I think could happen in the real world. And um, it just was a very interesting movie and very enjoyable. And again, I owe everything to my friend Time Lord. He introduced it to me. But other than that, I really don't have that much else to say about the movie, other than I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was extremely entertaining. Um, the panorama of the landmarks is just breathtaking. I was literally spellbound, and it's hard not to become spellbound and bewitched by Paris, because it is really, and I know this sounds cliche, but it truly is a magical place. It's a city for lovers, and it's no wonder that artists and all the creative types of this world are inspired and given their muse there. And you can see that when Gil takes his peregrination into the 20s, when he goes into the Peugeot, and that's a car, by the way. And I was gonna say he goes into the TARDIS, and no, too much Doctor Who right now. But but he takes the journey in the Peugeot to the 20s with all these different characters that were so influential. All these Americans, well, different characters, mainly Americans, and you've got some other characters from all different parts of Europe. It's just, there's something about that. I just think it's amazing. It truly is incredible. But if you haven't seen Midnight in Paris, and then you can see it. It's out on DVD right now. So I would highly recommend it, because it is absolutely phenomenal. Two thumbs up.